All right, so we are recording now for the 9 o'clock class, and I'm just gonna go over this quickly. 3 rounds, the power, clean, and jerk, meaning it's gonna start from the ground and end overhead. You can do that in almost any way, except don't snatch it. I want it to be 2 different movements, ground to shoulder, shoulder to overhead. Then your pull-ups, for some of you, maybe you'll go with a more difficult pull-up because 12 pull-ups, if you can do 12 pull-ups right away, right in a row, then perhaps make these more difficult. If not, I want you to make sure that you get your 12 pull-ups should be pretty quick. And then finally, your 400-meter run. What I talked about in the workout preview was your first 2 runs might not be as fast. I want that 3rd run to be fast, of course, the fastest one. The run is put at the end so that you can sprint the final one to the finish. Does that work? All right. So let's start off with, you got in a little bit of a run. Let's go right to the ground, lie on the back, and get some twists, some full body twists. The iron cross is what I typically call it. So go with knee to chest, twist to the side, and then back over. All right, so I hope you had a good active rest yesterday. Maybe you did a hike, or maybe you did yoga class at 4 o'clock. But we start off today with, I don't know, a little bit of a punch in the face. The idea with this is that you get in all of your 15 clean and jerks for the first set, right, in one single go. So the loading of that is so you can get them all at one time, just to put a little bit more stress on the heart rate. Okay, so lying down on your back, heels are on the ground, feet are flat on the ground, palms of the hands are flat on the ground. Push your hips to the ceiling, squeeze your glutes, and just keep moving through that for a set of 8. This is a glute, hamstring, lower back warm-up. That in those 15 clean and jerks, it also means you have to lower the bar to the ground 15 times, and that is going to be taxing the posterior chain here. And so we'll warm that up as well. So after 8, let's go with single leg out in front. Keep the 2 quads level, right? You don't need it way up here. Keep the 2 quads level, lift the hips, and back down to the ground. So 4 on one side, and then 4 on the other. Now for the pull-ups, I know that some, or maybe most of you don't have a pull-up bar, and we'll come up with a couple of things to substitute for that or to modify. What we've usually been doing is the modified pull from a bent over row position. And for that, you could use your dumbbell or your dumbbells or your barbell today for a bent over row. All right. Let's go ahead and get into a set of 10 air squats. Move through 10 of those in a row, and then we'll work on some Romanian deadlifts. Again, finishing up some hamstring warm-up. 10 squats. Let's start the Romanian deadlift just with hands on the thighs. Or you can do a good morning style with your hands up on the shoulders as if you've got a barbell here. So I'm going to do that one. I'm gripping my neck, thumbs on the collarbone. I'm going to put a little bend in the knees, tighten the belly, and then hinge at the waist. I should say hinge at the hip. So I'm going to get 8 of these. Push the hips back. Your knees can bend somewhat. The whole idea is that you feel hamstring tension. That's what you're trying to replicate or create. hip extension. And then we're going to go with this, hands to the ground, step back, step up, and jump. Please go ahead and get 8 of these. Eight up downs. An up down is the burpee without the push up. And so an up down could be a way, it could be a method of complete substitution, right? It's kind of like a push because you're holding yourself into plank. It's a way to get the heart rate up and to not bend the elbows. So you could substitute 12 up downs for your pull-ups. Right? That's one way to do it. So thinking about sometimes when the elbows have gotten a little bit too much work, maybe you don't want to lower down into the push-up for the burpee, so an up-down is a way to do that. All right. Now let's move over to your empty barbell. And we'll take it through one barbell cycle. If you don't have a barbell, you can get a set of dumbbells. And we'll just go for deadlifts. For a set of 5. Bar stays on the thigh, bar stays on the shin. For a set of 5 deadlifts. And we're just going to get in one power clean right now. For a set of 5 strict presses. And then what we'll do is you can either put the bar on the back for back squat position if you want to do a good morning, or you can hold it down here in the deadlift position if you want to get another set of good mornings. I'm sorry, deadlifts, Romanian deadlifts. I'm going to do the good morning. Put a little bend in the knee, push the hips back, keeping the belly nice and tight, rigid neutral spine. So I'm going to get in 6 of those. My weight's back in my heels, my knees are a little bit bent, but the important part is spine is rigid and neutral, and the focus is on getting some hamstring tension and warm up. Then pop the barbell back down, hinge at the hips so that your torso is about horizontal to the ground. Pull to the rib cage and right back down. You're pulling to the sternum, where the rib cage meets the sternum. Get in 6 or 8 bent over rows. Take off your shirt and then take a break. All right, so that pulling in the bent over row can substitute, well, it's a pull. It's not a great substitution for a pull-up, but it's what you have now. And Andy, I remember you took a picture of the bottom of your stairs. You could loop some webbing through there or rope or cord if you can get it around the stair. Is that possible? We can talk a little bit more about that. Maybe I'll take a look at it. You can take your computer down there and show me that spot. But I've done a couple of different options for looping things to get a pull-up bar working. All right, now let's take the barbell from mid-shin and go with a set of power clean and push press, or power clean and push jerk. Let's go for 8 of those. So we've been doing a lot of dumbbell work, stuff that involves grip as well as push-ups and pull-ups. That can take a little bit of toll on already tired elbows. So it's the lowering of these movements that causes that stress to the elbow. So for this reason, it would be an okay idea to get in all of your power cleans and then all of your presses. The way this workout is written is you're going to get in 1 power clean press, come back down, and it's this lowering under tension that puts some tension in the elbows. The idea is to get the weight down, get the load down in the long elbows before going down to the ground. And that'll be important today with 45 repetitions of this. Okay. At the end of this, once you've gone through that complex once, please get in another set of Romanian bent over rows. So bow over the bar's at about the knee, pull in to the base of the sternum, right here on the notch. And that'll be your bent over row. So Jane, your torso's a little too upright. If this is your hip, hinge forward more. So you're flatter to the ground, that's it. Even more. Other direction, there you go. And now pull the barbell to your sternum, that's it. And then right back down. You don't have to pause at the top. And those of you with pull-up bars, can you move over and get in a hang? I happen to have a pull-up bar right here. So get in some hanging. Those of you that don't have a pull-up bar, let's go the other direction and get into a bear crawl or a handstand or downward facing dog position. So I'm just swinging back and forth to open up the lats. A way you can do that without the pull-up bar is to hold onto a door frame and stretch into it right here. So I'm going to lean back into the door frame and go through the lats and open up this side. And I have to go to the other room to get it on this other side. So I'll skip that for now. But that'll be a good one to do at the end of today after the pull-ups and after all the overheads. All right. Now, some of you have some plates to add on to a barbell. Some of you don't. If you do have an extra set of plates, then add some weight to that. So here's the thing, is that while this is set up as a barbell workout with a prescribed loading of 50 and 35 kilos, the idea is to be able to get through all of the reps in a single set, especially in round one, with trying to go as unbroken as possible. So getting through this to go overhead and right back down. So go to 5 reps of your clean and presses, clean and jerks. Or if you're going to be getting in the deadlifts and the presses separately, then go ahead right now and get in some deadlifts and then the presses separately. And then once you put that barbell down after this set, I'd like you to get in a minute of whatever cardio you're going to do for the workout. So if you're running, go ahead and go on a 200-meter run. If you're rowing, get a 2 to 250-meter row. And if you're on the bike, go for a 0.3-meter bike. And I want you to push the pace on the last half of this. So 30 seconds easy, 30 seconds go. Yeah, Deb, that's the demonstration. That's good. So sumo deadlift high pull into just a strict press and back down to the ground. Let's go for 1 minute, 1 minute push. All right, so Andy's going to use maybe a 500-meter row, I'm thinking. Lori's going to do a 400-meter row. Jane, you're going to go 0.6 miles on the bike. Whoa, did your eyes get big? Let me take the mute off and then.
Every time?
What's that?
Every time?
Yeah.
0.6?
0.6 miles. So you won't need to reset the monitor at all. Just get back on and take the next one up to 1.2 and the final one to 1.8. Yeah, I know. It'll take you about 2 minutes.
At least.
Okay, so how about 0.5?
Because I got to tell you, 0.3 was going to be hard. It's 0.5?
How long did the 0.3 take you, Jane, just when you did that?
I didn't get to it yet.
What about the one before that you did?
I didn't notice.
Okay, so you're going to do 0.5 miles.
Okay.
It'll be good. It'll take you about 2 minutes, and that's the intended duration of that.
Okay.
Hey, Christine, do you have aside from your driveway, do you have more hills to run on?
It goes, yeah, it goes up and
Up,
down,
yeah.
then up and then down, and yeah.
And do you run out to Newell? Do you get that?
Yeah, it depends how far the run is.
Okay.
200 meters. So a 400-meter run is just to my mailboxes, just to the end of my street.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. But the 800, I go all the way out to Newell,
Got it.
which is a long hill down and back up.
Got it. All right, let's get back to the barbell. And those of you that are increasing the load on your barbell, go ahead and do that. Bump it up in weight. And keep in mind that the idea is on round one, I want you to get in all 15 reps. No dropping, and just move through the Maybe 5 repetitions.
And then are the burpees next or the bike?
It goes barbell, burpees, bike.
How many burpees?
12. And you don't have to go all the way to the ground on the burpee. It's just the up down. So imagine if you would misspell the word burpee, B-E-R, burp.
U-R.
Then but if you misspelled it, then you just go in alphabetical order. Barbell, burpee, bike. See, simple as that. That's your order. If you spelled bike wrong with a Y, then it would still be in alphabetical order. Imagine that. Okay, so for those of you with pull-up bars, go ahead and move over to your pull-up bar and get a couple of repetitions there. Again, keeping in mind that I want you to use a scaling. I want you to use a difficulty level that you can get all 12 in a row with no break. All right, are you using 20 kilos or 40 kilos, Andy, for your barbell today?
I'm gonna try.
Okay, good. All right, nice, Mark. There you go. Christine's flying through those pull-ups. All right, we see Daryl's pull-up spot right there. That's going to be perfect for the workout, Daryl. Use that band. All right. We're pretty much set up here. Does anyone have any questions about the order of events? Right? Barbell, burpee, bike. Go ahead, Deb. You just muted yourself.
I can't remember is it 15-12 run or 15-15?
15-12 run.
Got it.
All right, this workout is based on the template of Helen, 3 rounds of what is 400-meter run at the top. But again, I want the run at the end here. I want the final cardio push to be a really concerted effort to finish strong. Because you don't have to come back in to your living room and pick up a barbell. You have to come back in and just yell time.
How many rounds?
Yeah. 3. Whoops, that didn't work. 3 rounds. The time. All right, does anyone need to do anything else? Andy's giving the thumbs up. He's ready to go. Daryl, you have your dumbbell there ready? Christine, yep.
I'm gonna run to the restroom.
Yeah, let's take 1 minute and then be back. This right here. Let's do the bathroom break. So as most weeks go by, I talked to a number of different gym owners, and a guy called me the other day and he said, so what do you do about music? He's like, no one can hear me when I'm talking and I'm playing music in the background. And I said, oh, well, we just don't play music. And if you want music, you can put music on in the background. That way I'm muting and I don't hear me and I don't, well, you kind of hear me a little bit, but it took care of that. He's like, oh, I never thought about that.
I tried music, but then I couldn't hear any cues from you. So
Exactly.
yeah.
You can wear ear pods and that is the way to do it. But then you have these little things sticking out of your ears.
Ugh.
All right, so 15, 12, and 400 meters. You guys ready? I can't hear you guys anymore, but you can now turn on your music. Okay. So Andy, let me know. Do you see just me right now? Got it. Okay. Here we go. Clock's right here. Get ready for your 15 reps in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, Kim's on the poles. Jane's on the bike. Christine's off on the run. Great, Daryl's on his pull-ups. And Andy's on the row. Good, Lori's on the up-downs. All right, and Kim takes off on the run. I am going on Andy's count here, meaning I'm not doing the run so I can stick around and talk, but I will be doing the power clean and jerks at 35 kilos and the 12 pull-ups and then taking a rest. Daryl's off on his run. There's Luna. Jane is right in the middle of her 0.5 or half-mile bike. And Lori's on the up-downs getting ready to hop on the rower. There she's on the rower. All right, Jane, looks good. The map of the world. All right, everyone's out on the run section of this 3-rounder. All right, Mark's back. Notice that Mark is doing sort of a clean sumo deadlift high pull into a press for 15 reps. Damon's gonna go for some deadlifts and then presses. All right, Andy's done with round 1. Andy's gonna remember what he's got on round 1 and try and beat it on round 3. What he does on round 2 is his own business, right, Andy? All right, here we go, round 2. Break up round 2 however you want. All right, looks good, Christine. Break it up, take a quick break. Here we go, Andy, maybe 3 sets of 5. All right, Jane's back on the bike. Dr. Deb and Mark are out on a run. All right, Daryl's doing single arm dumbbell clean and presses. All right, Christine. And Christine heads out up the driveway for a 400-meter run. She's doing a 200-meter out, 200-meter back. Andy's finishing up, maybe starting his poles. There you go. Last set of poles. He's getting back on the rower for his second round. And Jane's on the barbell for round 3. Well done, Jane. Clean and strict press. All right. Mark and Deb back in the garage. Daryl's on round 2 of pull-ups, getting ready for round 3. All right, we're 8 minutes, 15 seconds in. Pushing the pace towards round 3. All right, looks good, Jane. Every deadlift, Mark, keep that back flat. Don't let yourself round. Keep that neutral spine, belly tight. All right, Jane's on her last set of 12 up downs. All right, Damon's on round 3. All right, Christine, back to the barbell, final set. I have my final set of 5, clean and jerks. All right, Damon, last set of burpees. Jane's on her final bike. All right, Andy, getting through the set of cleans. There we go, Kim. Big leg drive going overhead. Solid lockout. Big leg drive. There you go. Okay, Christine, final set of pull-ups. And you got it, right, Deb? Here we go. This is it. Final round. Here we go, Andy. Time, Deb.
12:40, Mark 12:12.
All right.
Come on, Dr. Nelson.
Here we go. Final set of burpees. What's your time, Jane?
11:58. And then we had a 6 at the end. I don't know what that means.
Come on, Andy.
Here we go. This is Daryl's final set of clean and jerks with that single dumbbell. Kim's now on maybe her last press. All right, Andy's on his pulls. Kim's gonna get her 12 pulls in. Great, Andy, here we go. Now your focus, Andy, is to beat that initial row time. Damon's out on his final run. Christine's on her final run. All right, Christine, 14:48. Invite that guy in, Dr. Deb. Tell him you want him to come work out with you.
I was just going to offer to carry his wood back and forth.
All right. All right, what was your time, Damon?
15:06. How come Mike shaved? How come you shaved? How come you shaved, Mike?
Get tired of it.
Tired of the homeless at home look?
Yep. Home away from home. Who do we got here? All right, there goes Daryl on his final run. Andy and Lori are on their rowers. Kim is on the run as well, and Luna's going for a PR shoulder to overhead. He's gone. So what we're going to do first is a couch stretch. So find a place that you can put your back toe on and your knee and that same knee on the ground. If you want to get into a couch stretch already, that's a good idea. Here we go, Andy. 16:36. We're waiting for, what was your time, Lori?
16:15.
All right. Daryl and Kim are out on the run course, finishing up. Yeah, so once you're ready, once your breathing has normalized a bit, get into a couch stretch. Try and find something that's high enough that you can pin the toe in that position. Because that way you stretch out the front of your ankle and get that hip flexor stretch. All right, Cam, 1735. Okay, so I'm going to leave the clock there so Daryl can see his time. And so this is all about the quad and the hip flexor. I'm sitting up as tall as I can, and I have a really deep quad stretch here. All of us started on slightly different times, but I want to make sure you get in at least 1 minute on each side. Daryl, are you there yet? If you finish off your minute, you can stay there for longer. Really, 2 minutes per side would be ideal. So today's going to be 60-something degrees, tomorrow 70-something, and then the next day 107. Wow. Although maybe it's more like 81. That means you're going to prepare for the herd of people coming from away from the beach. Right. I was there for a minute, so I'm going to switch to the other side. I'm also going to get a pad to put on my knee because that's the only reason I switched. A little too much pressure on the knee. But sitting up nice and straight, that deep quad stretch. Moving into the hip flexor as well. Occasionally I'll sit forward, adjust, get closer to the wall, and then move back into it. But it doesn't matter if it's more hip flexor or more quad. Did Daryl just say time?
I didn't say time, but it was about 2 minutes ago.
Okay.
34.
Okay, 1834, good.
Yeah.
So we're here on the second leg. So once you come out of that, when you're ready, I'd like to get in a seated butterfly stretch. So I'm going to sit on this yoga block, something a little bit elevated, so that I can get an initial stretch in my adductors. I've gotten used to avoid saying the word groin. I don't know why. I think adductor sounds nicer. So you can press on the knees to get a little bit deeper stretch, or you can use the muscles on the outside of your leg to pull down on that. Either way, this is going to be the first stretch of the adductors, and then we'll get in another one in a single-legged splits or a modified split. So I believe you have until the rest of today to submit your scores for the Support Your Local Box workout number 3. The 50, 50, 50, 50, which was 50 dumbbell deadlift, 50 dumbbell sit-up, 50 box step up, and overhead walking lunge with a single dumbbell, or something like that. No, thrusters, single arm thrusters. Was anyone at yoga last night? Christine was, Dr. Deb was. Apparently it was a fairly large class. I was not there. Let's take the feet straight in front. Put a straight forward adductor lower back stretch. We're here for a full minute. You can go to one side and then the other if you want. I'm going to stay right in the middle. Now I'm going to go up to standing and start with this sort of sumo stance, hands on the knees. And if this is as far as you want to take it, that's fine. You can drop an elbow and leave the other arm straight to stretch the groin. This gets both sides, but it kind of prioritizes one side over the other. Take out in that side. And I just gradually, after a couple, 20 seconds or so, I go a little wider with my feet. And then I'm going to come closer together and start on the other side. We're here for another 30 seconds. And this next one that I'm going to do is just a similar version of that, but it's a little more dynamic. You can hold on to a box or something in the middle, or you can just go, I'm going to go from one side to the other. Basically just get in a single-legged squat on each side. The thing that I'm making sure is that I keep my heel on the ground the entire time. You can walk through the middle. Point the opposite toe to the ceiling. Then I'm going to walk forward as if I'm going to do a push-up, but my feet are really wide. And it's kind of a downward facing dog in a split. Clearly not a split, but what feels like a split to me. So adductor stretch, walk forward, walk it back. We're here for another 30 seconds. So I have just one more stretch that I want to do that we started with today after the first set of pull-ups or hangs. And that was opening up the lats. And it was basically just getting a hold of something that you can open up from the side. And so I'm just opening up all of the left side of the lats by holding onto the door frame, pushing my hip to the left. Spending about 30 seconds on each side here.
Oh my
I switched already to the other side. And then I would go for a final set here of elevated child's pose to push the head and the chest through. Hands up on a box or a table. And you keep the hips high as you push the head and chest down through the ground. Another lat opener that hits both at the same time.